What's going on, folks? It's me, LG, your favorite internet marketer. And I want you to pay very, very close attention to what I'm about to show you because if you do, it's going to make you a lot of freaking money. If anything is not clear in this video, just watch it again. And if any of the concepts I talk about are beyond your trading knowledge right now, then you should be looking at some of the previous videos that explain what certain things are. Okay, this video is to specifically explain this strategy that can show you how to take $100 to $400,000 in a 90-day period. Okay, so I'm gonna go column by column. I'm gonna explain how this works. I'm gonna explain exactly how to take a swipe trade and put it into your MT4 the correct way, along with this strategy, and give you a very, very simple step-by-step process that you should not mess up. You should not get creative. You should not deviate from in any way, and you will be able to take $100 to $400,000 in a 90-day period. So let's get started. First, I'm going to explain the columns. Column A right here is about your account size. All right, we're starting off the account at $100, and as you can see right here, we're over $400,000 in a 90-day period. The reason this says 60 is because it's 60 trading days, and it's only 20 trading days in a month. So after 60 trading days, you're actually at 90 days. All right. Column B is the money column. This is showing you what your lot size should be, but this is in dollars, all right? Whereas column C is the way you actually type it in to the MT4, okay? If you don't understand how to convert, money into the correct lot size, then you should be watching a previous video and you're not ready to trade yet. I'm gonna say that again. If you do not understand how to put 40 cent properly into your MT4, convert it for lot size, then you should not be trading yet, okay? You should not be attempting a strategy. You should be in demo or you should be watching more videos, all right? So column B right here is talking about the actual account size. Now here's the formula. Right here it says 1/5. It's 20%. So what this means is that every trade you take is at 20% of your account. So if you have $100 right here, 40 cent is 20% of your account based on the built-in stop loss. Okay, these trades have a built-in stop loss of what's common. I'm actually not going to go into the full formula because you don't need to understand the full formula. You really just need to understand what to put in per column. Okay, so understand there's a lot of formulas that are taking place that are already built into the Excel spreadsheet here. Okay, so the only thing you need to do is to be able to look at your account size, and this is telling you what your trade size should be, what your lot size should be. And this is telling you how to actually put it in, okay? So if you have $100, then your lot size should be 40 cent. And this is the way you put 40 cent in on the MT4.04. Now, this strategy is based on 40 pips per day, 40 pips per day, okay? But it's based on only going after 10 pips at a time. The reason we're only going after 10 pips at a time is because I've done a lot of research, a lot of back study, and a lot of back testing. And what I have found is that 99% of the time, when you take a swipe trade, it at least goes up 10 pips. It at least goes into the positive 10 pips. So what I'm talking about is even if it doesn't hit take profit one and it turns around and hits the stop loss, at some point it went into the positive 10 pips. So if you had it set for 10 pips, that would be a winning trade for you. Okay. So the whole magic of this strategy is it's not about what you win. It's about how much you do not lose. I'll say that again. It's not about how much you win. It's about how much you do not lose. So we're going for 10 pips at a time, but we're getting a 99% success rate. Okay. I would say 100, but nothing's 100. There's always a chance for that fluke, but we're getting a 99% success rate. Okay, so you don't want to go on a trade and go after the whole 40 pips or go after 50 pips, go after 60 pips. You want to go after 10 pips at a time. Okay, after those 10 pips, you will have a profit of $16. Now that profit is added right here to your balance. Your new balance will be $116. So once you reach that new balance, now your lot size should be 50 cent and so on and so forth. 50 cent, 40 pips, 1856. That's added to your new balance. Now your balance is $134.56, and you're still at 50 cents. So all you'll be doing to properly do this strategy is look at your account size, and based on your account size, that's going to tell you your lot size, and you're using that lot size going after 40 pips, 10 pips at a time, okay? 10 pips at a time. Now, if you properly follow that out in a 90-day period, you will have $407,000, okay? That is the strategy. Now, some of you might be asking, okay, so, but what if I don't get 4 trades in a day? Because we're only going for 10 pips at a time. What if I don't get 4 trades in a day? You know, sometimes swipe trades might call out 4 or 7 trades. Sometimes they might call out 1. I have a solution for that. Okay. This is based off 1/5 of your account. All right. Which means you can safely have 4 trades open at one time. So here is how you make sure you get your 40 pips per day. When a swipe trade comes out, you put the swipe trade in your MT4 and set it for a 10 pip take profit. But that is only one of the 4 trades that you can have open. So my suggestion is put it in 3 more times. So in short, you will put 4 trades in for one swipe trade and set them all for a 10 pip take profit. Okay. So with that one swipe trade, with that very first swipe trade, or the second you win, you've actually won 40 pips. Does that make sense? So if you had an $100 account and your lot size is 40 cent, it means that when the swipe trade comes out, you're going to put it in at 40 cent. And then you're going to put it in 3 more times. So you will have a total of 4 trades open for that particular swipe trade at once, all with a take profit of 10 pips. And when it hits, you will have gotten your $16 profit. And then you can move on to the next day right here. But you can do this all in the same day. So for example, one swipe trade comes out, you put it in 4 times, you get your 40 pips. When the next swipe trade comes out, you're down on the second day. You don't actually have to wait to the second day to go to the second day. You just have to complete the cycle. And what that's about is your account size. Okay, so if you're ever confused your lot size should be, you just look over here and see where your account size is. So when you have an account size of $116, you know that your lot size is going to be 50 cent. When the swipe trade comes out, you'll put it in 4 times with a take profit of 10 pips, and bam, you've won another 40 pips. So it's actually very possible to make multiple 40 pip trades per day. You know, 1 swipe trade, 2 swipe trade, 3 swipe trades. Let's say 3 swipe trades came out that day. You actually just got 40 pips times 3. So you actually just got 120 pips that day. Do you understand the power of this now? So this is 90 days or less. 90 days or less, and you can take $100 for $407,000. So you might be wondering, what if I start with more? All right. Well, here is the exact same example with starting with $600. If you started at $600 and you followed the exact same strategy I just told you about putting the trade in 4 times, at the end of 90 days, you'll have $696,000. It's almost $700,000 in a 90-day period. You know, what if you have a little more money to play with and you start off with $1,000? If you started off with $1,000, doing the exact same strategy of taking the lot size and putting it in 4 times with a take profit of 10 pips, at the end of 90 days, you will have $779,000. Guys, you cannot mess this up, okay? You don't need to go after 15 pips or 20 pips. 10 pips is the safe zone, okay? And this is only to be done with swipe trades, not to be done with the harmonic scanner or any other form of trading. This is specifically to be used with the swipe trades. Follow the game plan. Slow and steady wins the race. Take as many as the opportunities to come out. Okay. Now, let me tell you a couple more rules that I utilize that will help you here. I do not do market executions. So when a swipe trade comes out, I only do pending orders. If it says market execution, I leave it alone. It's just some rules of mine. Another rule, I do not hold trades over the weekend. I actually stop trading around Friday around noon. Okay, so what I mean by that is, let's say I have a trade that's already open and it's Friday. Now, I never close a trade in the negative, but if I have a trade that's open on Friday, starting at noon, I'm looking for that trade to go into positive so I can close it anywhere before the market ends, because I do not like holding trades over the weekend. Okay. Now I'm going to show you how to actually enter the proper take profit, because I've seen some people have issues with this. So I'm going to go to a couple of swipe trade examples. Here is a swipe trade example when it comes to your email. Okay, you have the currency pair right here. You have the buy limit, the stop loss, and the take profit. A lot of people do not understand how to count pips. So I'm going to give you a very, very simple way to make sure you could put your 10 pip take profit in and not be confused. So when a swipe trade comes out, you're going to put in the entry point exactly the way it's listed. You're going to put in the stop loss exactly the way it's listed. But here is how you're going to come up with your take profit. You're going to completely ignore their take profits. You're not going to take your take profit. You're going to create your own take profit. And here is how you're going to do it. Here is the shortcut. So you don't even have to learn how to count pips. Here's the shortcut to getting a 10 pip take profit. You take the entry point and you are either going to subtract 110 or add 110. And you're going to do that based on if it's a buy or a sell. So for example, this is a buy. So if this is what you would do right here is you would add 110. Now that's technically 11 pips. The reason I do that is because different pairs have different spreads, and this is to make sure you can get your 10 pip profit or as close to it. Okay, so to make this simple, if you want to pop it in a calculator and make this really, really easy for you, all right, you could put in 77950. It's a buy, so I would just plus 110. This number would be my take profit. I would go 0.78606. That would be the take profit. That would be 10 pips. And I would put that in 4 times, okay, to guarantee my 40 pips. All right. Let me show you what it looks like if you're on a JPY pair. Some people get confused here because there's not 5 numbers after the decimal. You would literally do the exact same thing, except for this time it's a sell. So that means to get your take profit of 10 pips, you would take this entry point and you would subtract 110. All right, so 800 subtract 110. All right, you have 690. So your take profit would be 148.690. So when this swipe trade comes out, you will put in the entry point, put in the stop loss, ignore their take profits. You would subtract 110 from this 800, and your take profit would be 148.690. That's how you enter it into your MT4. Okay, guys? Very, very simple. This is not hard. You can't mess it up. Don't get creative. Don't go after more pips. The hardest part of this strategy is being disciplined. Here's what's going to happen. You're going to set your trade for the 10 pips, and you're going to see later that that trade hit 50 pips and 100 pips and 120 pips sometimes. And you're going to say to yourself, man, if I would have went for 20 pips, I'd be this much further. If I would have went for 50 pips, I wish this much further. Maybe if I just go to 15 pips, I'll go this much further. And here's the thing. The one time it hits the stop loss, you have significantly set yourself back on this chart. I've done a lot of testing over a long period of time to see that 99% of the time a trade goes 10 pips. 10 pips is the safe zone. So I encourage you to stick to the script. I encourage you not to do anything different than what I've put in this video. Don't be creative. Be an excellent follower. All right? Be an excellent follower, and you can take $100 all the way to $407,000. All right? In a 90-day period. Now let's talk about editing this sheet. All right, I'm gonna show you how to edit this sheet. Let's say you don't have, you're starting with more than 100, but you don't have 600. All right, let's just say you had 400. Well, if you put 400 right here on the first block, the rest of the chart will change, but there's some things you have to do that won't change manually, okay? And I did put these steps under the video, but I want to go over them in the video with you as well, because a lot of you don't read the extra information I put under the video. So you put 400 right there, and it started to change right here. Here's something to understand, though. If you're using the LMFX broker, which you should be using, because that's what this whole strategy is based on, you can only do a max of $600 per pip. So when you change any of the amounts from 100, when you get around here, you're going to see that it's over $600 per pip. You have to, and it's saying 908,000. You have to go back and manually change this to be accurate, okay? Can't do more than 600 pips. So you would just change anything that's more than 600 pip back to 600 pip, and now it will show you the correct amount. The other thing to notice is that the lot size column doesn't change automatically. So you will always have to manually put in the numbers, or at least know them when you see. So you would have to see that 288, you would have to know how to manually put that in. This section right here never changes. That's it, folks. Other than that, you're good to go. Go ahead and follow this plan and let's get rich together.